again as we check out the numbers for our first heavyweight semifinal. Jahfarr Wilnis is 6 years older than Kornilov. Their height and reach identical, but the Dutchman Wilnis weighed in 23 pounds heavier. These are the international Glory rules.
Glory Kickboxing is the most action-packed fight sport on the planet. Legal strikes are punches, including spinning back fists, kicks, and knees. Regular bouts are 3 rounds. Championship bouts are 5. And each round is 3 minutes of non-stop action. 3 judges score with the 10-point must scoring system. Outfight your opponent for a 10-9, knock them down for a 10-8. In a normal bout or a tournament final, 3 knockdowns in 1 round or 4 in the entire bout, and the fight is over by TKO. In a tournament semi, 2 knockdowns in 1 round or 3 in the entire bout, and it's all over. Or you can just make it simple and knock your opponent out. Points may be deducted for fouls. Sweeps, elbows, and grappling are not allowed. Clinching is okay if you immediately follow up with a knee. Otherwise, the referee will step in. Glory rules are designed to bring non-stop, fast-paced, stand-up action. To find out more, go to glorykickboxing.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this first of 2 semifinals, once again scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, this Russian big man brings a young kickboxing record of 7 wins against just 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.95 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at an even 226 pounds, 102.5 kilos. Fighting tonight out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kirill Kornilov. His opponent last appeared at Glory 24 Denver and is a 2-time heavyweight champion. His record, 29 wins with 6 losses, 1 bout scored even, 8 of those wins coming by knockout. He too stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.95 meters, and weighed in at 249.5 pounds, 113.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Netherlands and ranked number 2 in the Glory World Rankings, he is Jahfarr Wilnis. Your referee in charge of the Glory ring is Paul Nichols.
Guys. You understand the rules that you're fighting to? Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves, break. Strap yourselves in because the big boys are ready to throw down. Heavyweight contender tournament semi-final number 1. Jahfarr Wilnis in the white gloves and Kirill Kornilov in the black. The winner earns a title shot versus champion Rico Verhoeven at the end of the night. Remember, in the semifinals, 2 knockdowns in a round, 3 in a bout will equal a TKO. Right away, Kornilov showing some speed in those hands.
You see Jahfarr already using that head shield defense to get inside of Kornilov. That's where he's going to throw his big punch and kick combinations.
Kornilov accepted this fight on only 3 weeks' notice. This is his first time participating in a 4-man heavyweight contenders tournament.
Well, he only has 8 professional fights on his record versus the 36 of Wilnis.
Wilnis, as we said, weighed in heavier than Kornilov, who's going to want to use his speed and quick hands to do some damage.
He needs to stay away from the corners and the ropes, though. That's Jahfarr's strategy. Use his shield, get the opponent against the ropes to unload.
Solid right hand from Kornilov. Remember, in Glory, if the fighters clinch, you can immediately strike with a knee. Oh, big right, speaking of strikes, from Jahfarr Wilnis.
He's waiting for something. He's waiting to set up his power. When he's ready, he's going to unload, just like he did with that right hand.
Jahfarr Wilnis, the much more experienced fighter.
Break. Fight.
And the big man tumbles down. That will not count as a knockdown, only a slip. 1 minute to go here in round number 1, scheduled for 3.
Kornilov's using those knees, which is a good strategy. If Wilnis is going to keep walking forward like that, using the punches to knees is a very good strategy.
See if he continues with that. Wants to get out of the corner, that's for sure.
Do not lean with elbow.
Referee Paul Nichols warns Kornilov about the elbows. No elbow strikes in glory.
It looks like the right hand of Jahfarr that's being the best weapon for him. I'd like to see him use his low kicks.
And now Kornilov teeing off on Wilnis.
Kornilov's landing more. His back might be on the ropes, but he's landing more there. The big difference is the power of Jahfarr with those 2 big right hands.
Break. Fight.
First round of this heavyweight contender tournament semifinal is in the books, and nice impressive performance so far by Kirill Kornilov.
Kornilov's doing a good job at, even though his back's against the rope, he's staying active. He can't just sit there and being a standing target. But Jahfarr is finding that right hand. So he needs to make sure he keeps his elbows together and keep tight from those straight punches, because those big right hands are going to add up.
Since there were no knockdowns in that round, we move to the other criteria of damage. Joseph Balzolini, who'd you give that first round to?
Well, you got the volume of Kornilov, but I think the damage might have to go to Wilnis with those 2 big right hands.
Round 2 underway. Jahfarr Wilnis with the white gloves and Kirill Kornilov in the black. And overhand right from Wilnis gets through.
Break.
That right hand's landing really well, though. He needs to follow with that left hook and maybe his low kick.
Kornilov very light on his feet, using some movement. But Jahfarr Wilnis' style is just to keep moving forward.
Kornilov prefers the fight to be on the outside. He's really good at slipping his head off of jabs and countering, but Wilnis knows he can't fight that fight with him, and he needs to keep him against the ropes.
Wilnis made an interesting point in the fighter meetings. He called Kornilov a dirty fighter. He's going to make him punish. He said his game plan is to keep pressuring him. And some big shots from Jahfarr landed here as we approach 2 minutes in round number 2.
Kornilov needs to keep his hands up. If he keeps eating those right hands of Wilnis, it's going to be a short night for him.
Very true.
What Wilnis is doing, he's changing the angle of the right hand. Sometimes it comes straight, sometimes he's throwing it as an overhand right.
Wicked right hook just missed from Jahfarr Wilnis.
I would like to see Wilnis counterpunch a little bit more, maybe block a few off the shield and come right away with some big power punches. These guys tend to be boxing a lot more than using their legs. In a lot of Wilnis' other fights, we see him kick a little bit more, but it could be a strategy because 2 fights in one night with banged up shins and knees and ankles, he needs to be careful.
Wilnis landed a counter hook as we check out the strikes landed so far. Dominating by Wilnis, 36-18. One minute to go in round number 2. And a rocking body shot from Wilnis.
That's beautiful. I was just going to call that. If he's going to throw that left hook to the liver like that, he needs to follow with an overhand right. Or the reverse, throw the overhand right and then throw that left hook to the liver.
The youngster, 24-year-old Kirill Kornilov. That's a fraction of the experience that Jahfarr Wilnis does, but took this fight on short notice, knowing he has got a huge opportunity here in Glory.
Wilnis staying tight, using body head attacks. Very good strategy. Usually, you like to throw a nice round kick off of that. Could be saving his shins or saving his energy.
Saving it, because if you win this fight, your work is not done. You will move on to the heavyweight finals later tonight.
I like that uppercut hook he's following with.
Well, the strategy usually, Joseph, in these tournaments is to get in and get out. But here we are in our first semifinals, moving into the third round.
Kornilov only has 8 fights, so he's doing a good job at staying in there and gaining experience here. I still think he needs to make sure he stays tight defensively and make sure he puts a little bit of snap behind those punches if he wants to slow Wilnis down.
2 rounds down. How do you have it scored?
2-0 for Wilnis. I think Kornilov needs to do something here to steal this fight.
Glory 29 from Copenhagen. Ron Kruk and Joseph Valtellini here ringside for this semifinal #1 in the heavyweight contender tournament between Wilnis and Kornilov.
Wilnis can't coast this fight. The first round, you know, a judge could have given that first round to Kornilov, so I still think he needs to come out and perform in this third round.
It can be a dangerous strategy. You feel you're winning the fight. You do want to save yourself for that third fight, or the second fight of the night. But you can get caught too, and then you're not even moving on to the finals.
Sometimes people mistake forward walking and defense like that as aggression, but Kornilov is continually throwing, so he needs to kind of make sure Wilnis keeps active. It's important.
Break! Fight!
Wilnis needs to counterpunch, though. Those hands of Kornilov are really low. After he blocks a few off that arm, he needs to fire out with some hooks of his own.
Break!
Players clinch, and referee Paul Nichols separates them.
Break! Big space. Fight!
Pace here in the third and final round, slowing down.
Break!
Danish fans here at the Forum Copenhagen cheering on the both heavyweights. Great crowd here. Extremely knowledgeable kickboxing fans here in Denmark.
Jahfarr just landed a good left hook there. I think he needs to keep with that left hook. He just needs to stay active, in my opinion, if he wants to win this round. But if he thinks he's winning these 2 rounds, he might coast it out.
1 minute to go here in round 3.
Maybe it's the experience of Wilnis that you can see taking over. He keeps walking him down, landing his hooks and kicks.
And defensively blocking a lot of shots, not taking much damage.
Break! Fight!
Kornilov needs to do something spectacular here as we have reached 30 seconds to go in round 3.
Break!
We haven't seen that right hand from Wilnis land in the last little bit. Could be, he's looking really tired here.
Kornilov came in as the massive underdog in this fight. Again, Jahfarr Wilnis is the favorite to win this contenders tournament. That's gonna do it for this first semifinal. The decision is coming up.
Well, you can be right along with somebody ready about that. Look at you taking that small move.
Well, a very interested man there, although he's probably checking out social media right now, is the heavyweight champion, Rico Verhoeven. Of course, the winner of our heavyweight contenders finals here today will meet Rico Verhoeven at some point. And speaking of title fights, there is the welterweight champion, Nicky, the Natural Holskin, arriving at the Copenhagen Forum earlier today to defend his welterweight title for a second time. The challenger is also in the house. Arriving earlier, Johan Kornilov from Switzerland. He's looking to claim Glory Gold. No finish here in our first semifinal, but good action between Wilnis and Kornilov. Action-packed way to kick off Glory 29 Copenhagen between Jahfarr Wilnis and Kirill Kornilov, and here are the highlights.
Both of these guys just went into the pocket and started exchanging big punches. In the earlier rounds, it was the right hand of Wilnis that was doing the damage. Again, continuing to walk and cut the ring off against Kornilov and just throw big punches. But Kornilov continued to throw right back, which made it for a really exciting fight. In the third round, both guys seemed to slow down. But again, Jahfarr kept coming forward and kept throwing punches.
The final stats here for the first semifinal. Really, Jahfarr Wilnis more accurate with his percentage of kicks and punches and knees. The veteran really took it to the young Kornilov. The judges' scorecards have been turned in, so let's get the official decision.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here now are the totals. 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28, a unanimous decision, all for your winner, Jahfarr Wilnis, who now advances into the tournament final.